Still Moving Podcast. This is your host, Tim Anderson. I'm once again joined by my awesome co-host, Andrew.
What's up, guys? This is Andrew Adillo here at the Still Moving Podcast. We are doing more production value here at the current moment. We are doing a bunch of new stuff. We got some new webcams, got a new app we're doing with. Tim, what's going on with this?
Well, I am producing the show while we're doing it. And so hopefully it's interesting.
How is that going?
I just realized I left the monitor in my ear right now, and it's totally messing everything up. It's like recopying everything I was hearing right there, so that's not good.
Oh, so that's good. So we are looking for... I don't know what's going on right now. Okay, we are looking for a producer, freelancer. There's no money. It's just for fun,
and they have to be able to come here whenever we're ready to record.
So if you really want to get something on your resume for producing, come over here, and we will put you to work. Slave labor is not what we're looking for, though.
So I don't know what to do here. Do I look at the camera? Or do I look at you?
I don't know. It's pretty much almost in your face.
Well, maybe
or should we just look at the camera?
Maybe we should see the camera as like the listener, and so if I'm talking to you, I should talk to you like this.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
And then when it's time to address the listeners, you know how I like to do.
We'll address it.
Right.
Listen, guys.
Listen
Stop.
Up. You should know better.
Bad people. No, you guys are great.
Do not eat.
You listen to us. We have very limited viewers. But we're working on that.
We are working on that.
What's the goal? Say the goal again.
So we are starting a YouTube channel. Probably this might be our first YouTube episode, actually. We should create that after the show.
Yeah, I think because I'm almost giving up on the feeds because you're just not going to upload them.
I did last week's.
You did last week's and I did number 12. Now we need 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
We'll get the back catalog on there, we promise.
Yes.
But I think we should still keep the podcast feed going.
Definitely.
We're going to look at our major audience. We want our new audience to be YouTube-based.
I'm cool with that.
Right? And Facebook-y. I don't know. Here's the deal. YouTube is the blue ocean. YouTube is where everyone's at. Mm-hmm. Right? Facebook is...
Well, see, everything needs to lead back to YouTube, right? So... Right. We're going to upload it to Facebook, but it needs to go back to the YouTube.
I know, but the problem is, this is like insider trading right here. Or not insider trader, inside football or whatever, baseball. The problem is, I don't know sports.
I don't know what that was.
There's a phrase, it's called inside baseball.
Insiders?
Yeah, it means like we're going behind the curtain here.
Okay, I get it.
Inside baseball?
Yeah, no.
It's a term, it really is. I've heard it used a million times.
I've never heard that.
But anyway... The problem is Facebook doesn't prioritize YouTube videos. And so if you post a link to YouTube from Facebook, Facebook's algorithm, brings it further down in the feed. And then on top of that, you can't just play the video right in the feed.
You have to go to YouTube.
You have to
so what we'll have to do is...
Upload it in both places.
Upload it in both places. While that may seem like a hassle... I think
we will do it for our listeners because you are that important to us.
Yes, and it's not that we want to get 100 subscribers to go live. Talk about the intro music that we just had. The first time we've ever had intro music.
Oh, I'm so not ready for this.
Are you so not ready?
Well, I was wanting to talk about who wrote it and stuff and attribute them. And I just totally failed on that.
Well, we'll shout them out later now. Where now?
I don't have their name right now.
Garbage.
That's the problem.
Where do we get them from?
SoundCloud.
So we will shout them out on our next thing and be like, you're the reason we have something.
So, yeah, this is our first show with intro music, first show with our new cameras, first show with our cool little title slide. Let me throw that back up there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's producing it at the same time.
Look at this.
So we're going to different angles. So if I want a soliloquy right here, I'm front hey viewers, this is me, Andrew. Yeah. Is it wait, what's a monologue and a soliloquy? What's the difference?
Monologues when you're talking by yourself.
But what is this? Isn't a soliloquy the same thing?
I don't know what a soliloquy is anymore.
It's like you're it's like a poetry thing, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
My soliloquy.
Well, are you gonna do some poetry?
Yeah. Slam, bam, cham.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. But no, I'm really excited and pumped about all of our new stuff that's going on. What do you think, Tim?
Here's my monologue. I am excited too. I just am really nervous because I am hitting all the buttons while trying to have an interesting conversation. Because of course we are just trying to be interesting to you, our audience.
Yeah. So what's on the can today? All right, let's continue going. Let's continue going. So we talked about data last time and how we did a preview podcast before this because we were trying to get all the kinks out, and the conversation of data came up, right?
Yeah.
How I was on Google searching for hot toys. So they're like really, really expensive action figures that are like movie quality. So like you can look like it's actually the people in the movies. But what was weird about it is after I was done, didn't buy anything, didn't even load anything into my cart, right? I went to Instagram, a Facebook company, and there was an ad for this company that I was just looking at. So I started talking to Tim about it and how weird that all these companies are now sharing our data. It's not that I'm on Google with Google and now it's everyone's getting my data.
Well, see, and so this is in the news lately too, because the big scoop is that the Trump campaign abused Facebook and stole user data in order to target people, and it's really a load of crap. Everyone, if you know how Facebook works, people know that this kind of stuff has been going on for years now.
Yeah, but see, but not to the level it's at now, right? Not to the level of like I'm getting it off platforms. I'm not even on the Facebook platform, and I get Google has its little ads right there, but not that it's like I just searched something, not even logged in to the whatever I'm in. You know what I mean? I'm off the browser. I'm not signed into Google, but it's still storing your data based on IP address. I'm assuming.
Yeah. So it's all cookies. It's all IP address. You're right. It's what it is it's companies sharing data. So what a lot of people don't realize is, have you ever gone to a site and you see where it says connect with Facebook, on the site, or you see the little Facebook icons?
Yeah.
Well, the deal is sites that do that, part of them plugging Facebook into their site like that is allowing Facebook to have their view data.
Interesting.
And so what's happening
how about
is
that, Alexa?
So you go onto a site with your toy, whatever the action figures, not toys. I'm sorry.
They're basically toys. They're called hot toys.
Hot toys. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go on the site with your toys, and what's happening is Facebook is saying, "Oh, Andrew's on a site about toys," and so now next time you're on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, they're going to say, "Let me show Andrew some toys or some more things in this category in order to market to."
So I've also heard about Alexa, like hearing, right? And they weren't even having Alexa. They didn't say Alexa, but they're picking up conversations and then shifting you with like ads and hitting you with ads. So like, I was listening to a podcast, Joe Rogan's podcast. Check it out. Maybe not. I don't know if I don't want to plug. But they were talking about a story about how they were having a conversation, weren't even doing anything, and then the next moment they looked at their phones and there was the ad that they were talking about. That's
kind of freaky.
Yeah.
So that's a huge problem. I mean, we're putting these devices. Almost every company now has these devices. Amazon has Alexa.
Uh-huh.
Google has Google Home. What is it called? Google Home?
I think it's Google Home.
All right.
And then now Apple have started one.
HomePod.
So here's the thing,
and so they're listening all the time.
They are, and I've always been the advocate that to push innovation, you have to do away from privacy. And I'm not saying that like, I don't know, maybe it's just hit me with reality that now that I could be incriminated if I say something like joking, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not like the Alexa's going to know context, or it's not going to know.
No, like, everything's going out to them.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're not going to know that something was a joke, because I'm sure it's not coming in exactly how I said it. It's coming in like how they.
So now, like, you're talking about someone that's really ticking off, like a boss or something. You're like, I want to kill him, and then suddenly the police show up at your door.
Like that. Like that's a terrorist threat.
We heard someone talking about killing somebody.
Let's say you say something
like
joke. It is. That's what I'm saying. Well, let's say you say something joke, or like you're working on comedy. Let's say you're a comic, right? I'm not a comic, but like let's say I'm working on a routine.
You have me fooled.
Well, let's say I make a joke, but it's not appropriate, right? And then it comes out as hate speech.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're listening to everything I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, they're tagging everything. They're tagging all the objects. They're tagging clothes. I mean, why aren't they tagging people now? Right? They can say, "Oh, this Andrew guy is dangerous," right? Or "This Andrew guy is hateful."
Yeah,
and then they report that to Twitter, and then Twitter silences you.
Can you imagine a world we live in where all your social media platforms are working together to silence your voice, to make it look like you're actually communicating with people, but to make it look like no one's looking at you?
That's a term. Okay, that's called shadow banning. And Twitter does that. Reddit does it. So it's this idea. So when they find certain obnoxious accounts that are kind of being obnoxious in the community, or what they claim as obnoxious, right? They're making these people look like they think they're posting comments, but no one else is seeing the comments.
That's so
shadow
sad.
banning. Yeah. Because if they ban you outright, then you get all mad at, oh, they banned me. But if they shadow ban you, they don't get the bad PR for banning you, and you think you're communicating, but no one's listening.
Wow.
Isn't that creepy?
That's
well, not creepy, but it's just like, it really stinks if you're on the bad end of that. Now, like, to be honest, I know a lot of people that I would rather be shadow banned, because there's certain people online you don't want to hear their voice. Like, really, it's
well, obnoxious. I don't know. I think that this is an interesting concept, because yes, like, it's their proprietary things that we're using, right? But if you silence someone's voice, is that not censoring your whole platform?
It is.
So, like, let's look at Google in China. Google really, like, tears down their information in China, right?
Yeah.
Because they want to bow down to China's.
Well, they want
those users.
They want access to the China's market, and so they want, because there's literally millions of people there that they have access to, and so so Google, in order to get that market, they are listening to the Chinese government and agreeing to they call it the Great Firewall of China, so that they're censoring the data that comes across Google. And so everywhere else in the world, Google stands for human rights and for, like, getting everyone information, but it sounds like they bowed down in China to their oppressive regime.
Which is crazy to think about, that, and like, we don't have a really big problem, because in America, we have relatively good free speech, right? We can say whatever we want. And it seems like it's coming to this point where we're trying to, like, knock it down. But the fact of the matter is, they don't do anything in China, right? Or any other country that has these limited information, like acts or whatever they are. Mm-hmm. I think it's a real problem.
Oh yeah. Well, so these social media companies they're all let's face it, all of them are left leaning. And I don't like going political on our podcast, but what a lot of conservative, legitimate sources are saying is sites like Daily Wire, sites like I can't think of the other one right now off the top of my head. These conservative sites that are legitimate. They're not like, it's not like Breitbart or anything that's been really like like fake news, but like, these legitimate sources are being deprioritized on certain social media sites. Like, for instance, like YouTube, like Google, like Twitter. Their content is being deprioritized, and Facebook's working on that too now, because all the hubbub right now is that Facebook and Trump campaign's abuse of it led to Hillary's loss, and so now Facebook is saying, well, we're going to help make sure fake news doesn't get on, and so that's going to be like the linchpin, is this fake news term. Like, who gets to determine what is fake? Facebook
has been known for fake news for years, right? And you think about, their share just got, like, obliterated in the market last week. So I'm curious how they respond, and I'm curious to see where this is going. Where do you see this headed for these big social media companies that now kind of run our lives a little bit? Where do we see this? Like, where do we see this train stopping, or do we see no train stopping? Are we going to get to the point where there's no privacy? We have to watch what we say almost.
So, I know I listen to a lot of conservative, like, podcasts and stuff.
I've been listening to a lot of comedians, so that's why I'm kind of on this right now.
Funny enough, even though most of them are liberal in other areas, they actually agree a lot with a lot of the conservative speakers, because they don't want, censorship is bad.
Yeah.
And it seems like the left,
especially with a joke, like, it's a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and it seems like the left is really bowing down to this. We have to be politically correct. We have to be inclusive. We have to be, can't be hateful. Hate speech is violent, right? And so a lot of these comedians are actually joining up with the conservative movement to say, hey, this is not cool, this censorship that you're beginning on your servers. And yes, these are private companies that own their servers. They can do what they want. It's not like the government owns them, right? However, what's going to happen, I would not be surprised if there's a new YouTube competitor this year.
Okay. Why don't we get up on that?
Because I don't want the bill for that.
Well, can we just let's? I'm all for opportunity. Okay, right? Let's create a video platform that's better than YouTube. You know what? I've actually heard that Twitch is is going to take it over.
Well, so you think so?
That's what all the business talk is that Twitch is coming on YouTube's heels. And
so what Twitch has, it has all the gamers.
Yes.
Like most people who are streaming games, and that's what the younger audience is watching. Young boys is watching games being played all day long.
That is true. And if you think about Twitch too, and they're actually talking about esports, like gaming as an actual sport. There are trends that say it's going to be $1 billion industry.
Oh, I believe it.
In like 10 years.
And the sports we have now, like football, baseball, basketball, their viewership has been declining every year.
That is true. But I think that more correlates to TV, right? Because TV users are unplugging.
Yeah.
Right? So I actually think people are being smarter with how they view things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
I don't think that actually correlates, but I think it's crazy, man. I think Twitch is coming for YouTube. And I think it's a different thing, but I think it'll soon be where you're doing like a function of gaming while you're doing a podcast like this. You know what I mean?
So we'll be gaming and talking. Is that what you're talking about?
I think so.
Like we'll be playing like Legend of Zelda or something.
Well, why wouldn't
we put
you?
On the third screen, like at the bottom now.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have a podcast and be like doing this at the same time? Because we can, right? Don't we have the ability? Yeah. Haven't you done that your entire life as a nerd? Is like
done like multitask.
Or talk junk while you're playing video games.
That's true.
Like,
that's half the fun.
That is half the fun. I remember
growing up in middle school playing GoldenEye. Did you play that?
I played GoldenEye. I did.
I just remembered I was 6 years older than you.
Nintendo 64?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that.
So when I was in 6th grade playing it, you were probably in 1st grade.
Yeah. So I didn't get the concepts.
Yeah.
Right, and I wasn't good.
So that was a huge thing. It was like the first real multiplayer game, and so we would actually have tournaments. We'd go to friends' houses and play long hours, like late into the night.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a really big, especially with boys. Because I don't know how girls fit into that. I think they like it, and I think they're starting to come more around. But I think there's something about talking junk with your guy friends while you're playing video games. I'm sure girls.
Well, I think it feeds. I think it feeds to like because here's the deal: men and women are different. It just says sorry, and I think video games kind of plays to what appeals to men more, which is the competitiveness and the need to be a hero, the need to be a conqueror. That kind of a drive.
That could be like an evolutionary thing where it is like that we need to be a hero, but they may have tapped into that.
Yeah, that's what I think video games does for boys. That's why I know girls play video games. I know plenty of girls that play video games.
Yeah.
But you don't see like of the people that I know that gets addicted to video games and like are playing it nonstop and are really 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 into it, or people who might be interested in watching like Twitch and those esports that you're talking about. It's not women, it's guys.
Well, so actually, what's odd is I feel like a lot of women are on that, and there's been a huge prevalence of women gamers too that have come out recently. So I don't think it's just one gender now, and that's why I think Twitch is so scary to YouTube.
Yeah,
because like I think that's I don't know.
Well, I really think there's gonna be some kind of a, if not conservative, a more like libertarian kind of company that's going to come out this summer-ish, and it's going to try to come up against Google. I don't think I don't think Twitch is the one.
I don't know because like look at Logan Paul.
I don't know who owns Twitch.
I think wasn't it Amazon?
See, and Amazon's a liberal company.
Hold on, let me look. This is a kind of who owns.
We are zooming in on Andrew Googling
Twitter.
Something live. I hope this is very interesting to you.
Oh, wait. I put
Hold
Twitter.
on, he's almost there.
I put Twitter, not Twitch. Yeah, Amazon owns Twitch.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, well, you think about Amazon. I think Amazon understands the market. So I think they're really rivaling Google in this aspect. Because I think people are even leaving.
If anyone has the resources, I think Amazon does. But what I'm saying is, I think there's going to be a whole new kind of company. So there's this company called DuckDuckGo, and it's a website, DuckDuckGo.com, I believe, and they're trying to rival Google as far as for the search engine aspect of things. And they're actually doing decent. If you actually look on your iPhone, if you look through the built-in search engines that you can change to, you can actually change it to DuckDuckGo. They have a presence. And the appeal of DuckDuckGo is from the outset, they're saying, we are not sharing your information. We're not sharing your data. We're not harvesting it. We're not grabbing it. All we're doing is working on, are you saying I'm hitting the table and knocking the camera around. But so what DuckDuckGo's doing is they're saying, we're putting your privacy first. We're going to give you great search results, but we are valuing your privacy.
So you think DuckDuckGo will ever be like a point to where they're actually just saying, pay us money and you're private. You're privately going on the internet. And do you think they'll beat Google?
So it's a premium to be private?
Yeah. Do you think Google will ever go to that model? To where, because I feel like if they went to the privacy model, that it would make money.
They wouldn't make money off that.
I would pay if it could be private.
Would you?
Yeah.
Would you really pay?
I pay $9.99 for YouTube.
Look at all the games on the App Store on iOS. No one likes to pay for games. Like these games, if they were released on Nintendo or anything else, would be $40. They're all like $2. And then the ones that are free,
but
there's
we're
ads.
We're talking about a different thing.
I know so many people. They'll play a game for 10 hours a day. And they'll do it with ads in between. It's like, you spend most of your time on this app. Why don't you pay $2 for the app?
And I'm not meaning for the ads. Like, what I'm meaning is a private thing to where you can pick who you want to share.
Yeah.
Right? So if you give more user interface, because I would like that.
Google, it would be great. But Google, they make so much more money off of selling your data. Here's the deal. Here's what it comes down to. These companies have business models, and you have to understand what they are. For instance, Apple makes great hardware, and they sell their hardware for a premium, right? Everything, if you buy a laptop at Apple, you're paying 4 times more than you would like an Asus laptop or
Acer. Is it Asus?
There's an AZ.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Got
or
you.
Acer laptops or any other of these you're paying 4 times, but you're getting great hardware, and you're getting Apple, like they back it, like they'll replace it, if it breaks. You're getting a great hardware experience, right? So Apple's hardware. Microsoft, you're paying for software. They want to sell you software. They'll sell you cheap hardware just so they can get good software, so they can put premium software on it, right? Amazon, they just want to be the middleman. They want to be in everyone's pocket, and they want to be part of every transaction.
Well, but see, I don't think that's actually an accurate model of Amazon, because Amazon's getting their hands in every little detail. Because they bought grocery stores, man.
Yeah,
it's not that they want to just be.
They want to be part
of
that purchase.
But look, they're buying Twitch. Like, that's a big thing.
They want to be part of that transaction.
But what transaction is that?
Any transaction that would go on there, they want to be a part of that. They want to be the middleman.
So you think they're just a giant middleman that they've created? That's an interesting thought.
And then Google, their product is you.
So are you saying
your search results? They have what you search for.
I get the
they
data.
Have your identity.
Data is currency now. I get that.
Right.
That's what we're dealing.
And that's the big game that Google and Facebook are both playing at right now.
So do you think that all these social media companies are just glorified marketing companies that used to be in the 50s? Now it's in the 2000s.
Yeah, this is where the marketing money is.
It's just now social media.
This is what it is. This is the future of marketing.
See, I feel like there's a way to do it better. I feel like you could do social media so much better.
Oh yeah,
and not make it marketing.
The problem is, it's appealing to the mass market.
That's true.
Most people don't care about the privacy.
They don't want to pay about it.
They don't want to pay for it. They don't care about the privacy. Because there have been so many great social media networks and other things that have come up, and the problem is they come up and they don't get enough users and they go away.
I can't even name one that was legit.
Well, sometimes they get bought out too. There was one a few years ago. I can't remember it now. It's in the dustbin of history.
So speaking on this topic, I just finished Ready Player One. You finished Ready Player One.
Great book.
How far are we from Ready Player One as a reality?
I think we're close. So the premise of Ready Player One is there's this virtual world that people step into, and they literally live their lives in VR.
Yeah.
Virtual reality. And if you think about it, take out the technology part of it, the virtual reality aspect, because that's coming. It's almost here. We're not there yet, though.
Yeah, it hasn't quite caught on to where it's like the internet.
There's plenty of people who are living their lives on the internet, right? That's where.
In what way, though? What do you mean? Because in this thing, like the cool little features about this is like you could order food, right, and it comes directly to your thing.
Yeah.
Like in this VR, if you were hungry and you were eating, it would just come directly to your thing.
You can order. I can order Pizza Hut and it comes to me right now, right?
That's true, but it's such a hassle.
Yeah.
It's such a hassle.
Well, and so that's where technology is going. Is it's taking out the hassle, right? It's integrating things, and it's creating this symbiosis or synergy. I guess is the word I'm
symbiotic.
Symbiotic. I don't know the word. Yeah, but it's technology is all about making things. It's finding point A, point B, and trying to get them closer to each other. Right, taking out the hard stuff in the middle, making things easier. And as far as like living in the virtual world, there's plenty of people who like Facebook, like social media. That's where their identity is. Like I know students, because I work with students, and so do you, who can't be without their phone for too long because they're so connected to it. And it's so important for them to get the likes, and it's so important for them to know what's happening with all of their friends and their whole network.
So let's say something like the Oasis launched today. Do you think every other social media thing would just go, like every other piece of technology would just dissipate? So where you would just be plugged in 24 hours a day.
The problem with Oasis is you need everyone to have the hardware.
Well, so at first in that book they were just giving it away for free. Then they made it for the school. They got the children. They had free schools.
Yeah,
and they were better on the Oasis.
So you need a benevolent company that would be willing to give away, because right now VR hardware is selling. Like I think the cheapest is the Sony PlayStation hardware, and that's still a couple $100 at least to get started. I think.
But you really think people would?
Because Facebook has Oculus, right?
Yeah. Well, but what's interesting is they're still in these tests.
Yeah.
Right. So no one has actually come out and like hit the ground. Like
Sony has.
They're out there. But they're not
full
that
featured world.
Yeah, they're not that thing where they're connected to each other.
Yeah,
right. That's the legitness of this Oasis.
So in Ready Player One, it's this one application that everyone lives in. It's kind of like how everyone lives on Facebook.
Yeah, it's a social media company, but you can do anything you want in it.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
You can program for it.
You can watch movies. You can do whatever.
So when the iPhone came out, that's what happened, right? Before iPhone came out, no one was writing apps. But when iPhone came out, suddenly we have this. So think of the operating system as the
Oasis,
the platform. Yeah,
interesting.
As Oasis, and suddenly it created this economy where people were becoming app developers and creating little worlds inside this universe, which is iOS, and these little worlds were called apps. It's the same kind of idea. Someone's going to create this virtual reality social media platform, and they're going to open it up to developers, and developers are going to create their own little planets and their own little apps within the social network. It really can happen. It's going to be kind of freaky when it does, because I'm afraid what's going to happen is people are going to enjoy their life online much more than they do their real life.
That's a weird situation to be in, where.
But there's already people like that nowadays. People who enjoy the online world more than their real life, because their real life sucks. They're not a hero. They have a menial job that they're not happy at. They don't have friends. They don't have connections, and so they go online, and that's where hey, I'm known for my accomplishments. I'm known for how good I'm at this or that. I'm known for how good I'm at posting content or doing, I'm known for my connections I made online versus my connections I made in real life. I think this is a big battle we're going to be facing over the next 10 to 15 years.
So do you think this is ever going to away, and you think, I'm going to answer my question, no, it's not going to go away, but do you think it'll be to the point where the rest of the world is completely destroyed and we're living online, or do you think we will go opposite way and not be online
This is another premise in Ready Player One, is that the world has gone to hell in a handbasket. Like, it's literally people are stacking their houses on top of each other.
Well, there's no room. In the book, there's an energy crisis, right?
Right.
Which we always talk about there being an energy crisis, but yet we have a lot of oil to live on for a while, right? So probably like 1,000 years we'll have no oil.
Nuclear is not as bad as everyone thinks it is, and so do I think that's going to happen? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
So I get the technology will be super like integrated with our life, or you know what I mean, where eventually I feel like arms are you're gonna be like, I want to chop this arm off and get like a legit,
get a bionic arm.
Yeah, I want a bionic arm. I want to look like Cyborg. I think that's going to be a real possibility in the next 20 to 30 years.
Well, so you have to think of other ways that we've kind of jumped into this scenario is things like even the Apple Watch, which I'm not wearing mine right now.
I'm not either.
But like with your Apple Watch, you are literally like there's something on your body connected to the internet at all times. Like your phone it's with you at all times, but it's not literally on you. Your watch is on you. Like you're literally wearing it. And so your wrist is now connected to the internet. Like all the day, as long as you wear it, right? And I think what we're going to see is these wearables. You know, we've been talking about the wearable market for years now. But these wearables are part of bringing us into the internet.
That's true. And even athletic companies, that's their big push is literally wearables in all the clothes they're wearing. So soon, like even Levi's, they unveiled this jacket like last year that you could like just swipe like this on the jacket and it could control all your music and everything. Right. So that's coming. It's just not quite to the level
there yet. Well, and then Google also they were a little ahead of their time when they did the Google Glass. I don't know if you remember. There were these glasses that they made.
There's one thing.
Yeah, and I actually heard that Apple recently filed a patent for a similar kind of a glasses situation. I don't know what it's going to be, but they filed a patent like a few months ago. So this looks like it's an area that more companies are looking into again. And so the idea, it's kind of like, you know how remember the Terminator, where he can look around and he can like pinpoint things and stuff?
Well, so the whole,
augmented reality, I guess. Is
like augmented reality, it would be so cool because if you think about like Iron Man, right? It's Tony Stark. He can just do this and the computer's like touch. Yeah. That would be a great legitimate feature, but at what cost would that be, right? Because I feel like putting glasses on is a hassle, right? Mm-hmm. So eventually they're gonna have to take out the eyes. Like I'm 100% serious. I feel like the eyes, like your body parts, will be non-existent in the future.
So then suddenly, at one point, we just end up being like the Matrix, where we're just like
we're machines. You don't see that as a possibility?
I hope the Lord comes back before then. I don't know. I don't know. Here's the deal. I think whatever happens, there's always going to be like, you know, even nowadays, like there's going to be like the vegans or like the people who are like.
Do you think technology is
against it? Oh no, technology's not a fad.
No,
it's encompassing. It's everyone. You end up even if you try to hold off on technology. I know people who try to hold off, they end up embracing it within a few years.
Yeah, you know? But then there's also those people that live in the woods and just have a shotgun.
You'll always have the woods people. But I do think you're going to find. I think you're going to find people who are saying, well, what's a healthier way to enjoy the technology or to use the technology rather than. I think there's going to be a movement towards like. Anti-bionics, and it's going to be more like.
Tim, did we talk about this on the last podcast with stem cells? Have we talked about this?
Did we talk about stem cells?
We I don't know if it was on the podcast or it was one of our test podcasts. So what they're doing now with adult stem cells, what they were usually doing with infant stem cells. And so now we're going to the point where in China they're making these symbiotic birthing like bags, you know what I mean? Or
they're like creating children.
Yeah, they're creating children.
Well, I don't know. Are they really creating children?
Well, so
I think they're doing it with chickens.
What they did is a chicken.
Yeah.
So if they've done it for the chicken, where you can have no womb or no egg thing, you know what I mean? How far away is it from like not doing live birth? You know what I mean? Yeah. To where it's like in this sack like the Matrix. Do you think that's will ever be a possibility, and we'll embrace that? Or do you think it'll be something that like we as the church, let's go spiritual. You think we as a church will be like, that's not natural, we should not be doing that? These are interesting concepts.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Like I don't necessarily think, I believe God allows us to have technology, and technology is used for good. And so think about instances where people couldn't conceive. Mm-hmm. I would say that could be a good thing for them, right? Or you have issues in places like Japan where you have low reproductive rates and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a good option to have in your pocket.
Ooh.
Now, I hope they're not like killing people in order to make these.
Well, what about, how do you feel about adjusting the baby's features before
like genetics?
How do you feel about that? Because that's actually a real possibility today, where you can change the eye color. You can take recessive genes that are bad out.
Yeah, I guess the problem I have with that is you never know what else you're messing up, right? Because while I don't believe that we were evolved from apes, I do believe that the evolution does happen as far as species can evolve throughout generations, right? I mean, it's just that's proven science. We see that happening.
So do you think if they take one piece of strand of DNA out, that it'll have tremendous like catastrophic events down the line?
What's the butterfly effect of it? What's the effect of mutating something, and then who knows what can happen? You know, like I think that we do need to draw lines, but I'm not necessarily spiritually against it. I'm more like it's
a weird line.
It's more of like a humanity ethically against it. Like, is it really doing the right thing for humanity?
I don't know. It's a weird line to cross spiritually too.
I guess what they call this designer babies, like where you choose what attributes you want your child to have.
That's kind of crazy to think about. But like it almost is a spiritual thing, but it's also like.
But then also as a parent, like, if you found out your child that might have a genetic disease, wouldn't you want to be able to take that out?
I don't know because I almost have this premise that like things in life happen for a reason, right? Now if I mess up with that reason, you know what I mean?
But so the people that are like saying that, oh, God made them a certain way, therefore you shouldn't mess with it. My only problem with that is, well, God also gave us the technology, and God allowed us to have the technology. So if we can use it for good, if we can use it to glorify Him, why shouldn't we be able to do it?
I don't know if it's that we should be. I don't know. It's a weird line, and I'm not. I sound like an old folky right now. It's not that I don't. It's just weird to me, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of things that we're born with in life that are a challenge, right? We're born with challenges. But I think those challenges benefit us in the long run.
Yeah.
So if we remove those challenges from birth, will that benefit us? And will we inherently become weaker as a people?
Yeah.
Right? To where we cannot
deal with things. And the problem with designer babies is suddenly we're all going to end up with, everyone has olive skin, everyone has green eyes, everyone has...
It's almost the Hitler race.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's eugenics. But it's eugenics without killing people. It's eugenics by
But you are
people.
In a sense, because if you have natural birth, right, and you have the DNA from the mom and DNA from the dad, you're creating a person that's not connected like they were, right? Because their DNA is altered, so their DNA does not match to those parents like they would.
You're right.
So they're completely. It almost becomes to where like these are not parents anymore. It's more like this is just some science experiment.
Yeah. So
they don't even have.
Now I think I am spiritually and morally against it.
It's weird. It's a weird topic to think about.
Yeah, because you're right. Because then you're not like
you're no blood.
If they don't have your genes, are they really your child as far as genetically? I totally get adoption, but in this instance, if the parents are altering the genes of the children, then
and even let's take this from a psychological aspect. Do you have as much love for that child, right? If it's your DNA, but it's not your DNA.
Well, I think you can though, because I really do believe in adoption.
I believe in adoption too, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I think you go in there with the aspect that you know it's not your child.
So I think it's not necessarily on a do the parents love the child kind of thing. I think it's more of are we okay with creating children without parents? Are we okay with like, for instance, what if China decides they need 100 more soldiers at this time of,
Oh, we also got into the topic
1,000 more soldiers
of eliminating women completely. Well, like if we had 1,000 embryos,
I don't want to eliminate.
No, I don't either. But let's say China, for instance, because they have this thing about having male soldiers.
Yeah,
that's their really thing. Let's say they only need women for the embryos, right?
Yeah.
Right. So let's say they just start creating males and males and males and males and males, and it's not with parents. It's just in sacks.
Yeah.
Do we like that?
No.
Is that weird? Do women cease to exist at that point?
And then if women cease to exist, then you have a bunch of probably frustrated young men who don't have an output to all their natural urges, and then suddenly I don't know, it's so weird.
Dude, we're talking sci-fi, but this is almost reality. Because you think, like, that's crazy. You have an army of men with no women. And that's almost a possibility.
We're getting into so many hypotheticals on this.
This is all hyperbole and all hype.
This is Tim and Andrew going from data breaches all the way to China creating super soldier male races without women.
Okay, so, I mean, you just threw out super soldier. Do you think Captain America could be like a thing?
Well, yeah. If you're hitting genetics, then suddenly China, maybe we keep throwing China under the bus here, but whatever. They're creating their super soldiers. Now suddenly they're creating them with more testosterone. They're creating them with more muscle mass. They're creating them with more taller, like they're taller or smaller even. I don't know. If you want small soldiers.
I doubt you'd want small soldiers.
To get into short places, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Like miniature soldiers?
Yeah. but I guess that's a possibility too.
I think I want to be to the point because I love technology. I don't want to sound like I'm scared of it, but you've seen Black Mirror.
Yes.
I haven't really watched it because it gives me anxiety, but because I feel like it has just a not an optimistic look on technology. It has more of a pessimistic.
Yeah. See, and that's where because you look at all these like TV shows and movies and stuff, and it's very this apocalyptic, like the future is going to be horrible because of all the technology and stuff. But why can't the future be better? Like why?
Well, so here's
technology
the thing.
Does make things better,
but it also renders things obsolete, right? So the very nature of people is bad, in my opinion. That's my perspective. People are bad. The only thing that makes people good, I would say, is Christ. That's my outlook, right? And obviously you could challenge it, whatever. We're talking all in my perspective. Is because once you start updating technology and it's like to a whole thing, you'll start coming to the point where we don't need that, right? We don't need that Christ. So Christ is therefore eliminated from the sphere. And now those people that don't have Christ in the sphere, because religion is a problem.
Yeah.
Right? Religion is the problem for all of it. No matter what religion you are, that's the problem. Let's say we get to that point. Now you have a bunch of people that have no moral compass, in my opinion. Right? Then we start chopping up different things. We're like, well, that doesn't really matter. This doesn't matter. And it's slow and steady, but then we start getting into this apocalyptic society. So I think it's kind of accurate, but it's also
so the reason I don't know if I necessarily agree with the premise is because take a step back, go back 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Right? There's no technology, or it's primitive. It's the wheel, fire, steel. I guess they have steel at that point 1,000 years ago, right? No, they don't steel. They have iron.
Well, when was the Industrial Revolution? Isn't it 1800s or 1500s?
So they don't have steel, they have iron, because they're making swords out of iron and stuff like that. So go back 100 years, and you would say, you can argue that people had to depend on God more, because, for instance, if it didn't rain in your area, you have no crops. If you have no crops, you have no food, your family dies.
Yeah.
Right? Even up into the 1500s, like, if there's a plague going on in your city, it's not like you could go to another city, like move your whole family somewhere and be saved from it. No. If there's a plague, it hits you, you die. Yeah. Right. And so technology has come in, and it's allowed people to be more mobile. Like if something happens in Visalia, guess what? See ya, I'm out. Me and my family, we're going to live somewhere else, right? If it doesn't rain here, guess what? All my food's being shipped over from Florida or from other, like my potatoes come from Idaho, right? So technology has already, like in that sense, kind of supplanted people's need to rely on God.
Yeah. And look at the trend of history, right? And we could say that we're becoming more enlightened as a people, right? But if you really think about it, we've progressed, and then we've also digressed at some points as well.
But I feel like,
do you think this is just a natural part of life?
I think I think it's okay. I don't think it's a thing. Like, I think it's nothing to be...
So you think, like, it's all...
No, it is a thing. It's happening, right? Yeah. People are relying less. Every day goes by, the world as a whole is relying less and less on God. And that's true. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, as far as it gives the church more to work with.
Okay, I get you. I like that. I like that. That's a really optimistic outlook on life. I like that.
Yeah, well, and that's like, people are always like, oh, this world's going to hell in a handbasket. When I grew up, we were able to, I don't know, our kids were able to walk to school without us watching, yeah, the world's getting darker, but it allows us to shine brighter, and it allows people...
I like that.
So, yeah, if the world's getting darker, then I think it gives people more reason to turn to Christ.
That's a good positive outlook.
That could be a good way to end this podcast.
I think so too. I think so.
So we covered data breaches. We went all the way to Bionics. Then we hit virtual reality in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, we hit virtual reality. Then we hit to DNA.
And then DNA.
DNA
editing.
fascinates me.
And then we went to eugenics and and then apocalyptic.
Then we went to spirituality.
Yeah.
Right? Because no matter what religion you are, we kind of represented you.
Yeah.
Even though we had a more lenient view on Christianity.
So, once again, we're still here. We're still moving. We covered a lot of topics. We want to hear your feedback. So if you have any feedback, please just let us know what you think of it, what you think of the podcast, what you think of our production values.
Has it moved up? Has it decreased?
What do you think?
Are you going to subscribe on YouTube?
Oh, crap. Okay, so we have to do the whole, subscribe here.
Dude,
I'm pointing at something.
I don't even know how... Well, we're both on different directions here. So
actually, no. If in the video, we're actually in the same direction.
Oh, no, we're good. So, but we're all in different directions. Yeah. We had to figure that out.
Subscribe.
Here. I don't know where it's at.
Or follow us there.
Also, like and share on Facebook.
Ring the bell.
Ring the...
People say that on YouTube.
Ring the bell.
See, this is our first foray into YouTube. There's a bell,
for an alert.
Yeah,
because that's how you get more people on you and tuning into what you think. Our goal is 100 subscribers. Be one of those 100. If you're one of the first 100, we will give you a special item.
Oh, we should make items.
Well, for our first 100 subscribers,
there is something in it for you.
We're going to get you a still moving customized item.
Oh, this can get expensive.
No, because what I'm thinking, Tim, is really cheap. I'm thinking one of the rubber bracelets.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, 100 still moving rubber bracelets to our first 100 subscribers.
Wristbands, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's doable. Those are cheap.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
You like them?
Yeah, I like them.
All right.
Well, let me get this outro music going here. I don't know why my button's not pressing.
Oh, we're stalling. Okay, also follow me at Mystery Dio on all my social media platforms. Tim?
Oh, I'm B-Town Tim. I'm in most of my places. B as in Victor, Town.
You want to throw it out? Mr. Still.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the podcast.